Hello, beautiful Aries gang. Welcome to my channel. We are going to do some tarot for you here. Love and relationships this time around, though I will, excuse me, I got the hiccups. I will share anything else that comes around in terms of other messages that want to be seen or shared. Please come into the readings with an open heart and an open mind. Desire to learn something and better yourself. If the messages that come through don't resonate for you, that's completely fine. Feel free to push them aside. You may want to revisit them at a later date. Sometimes messages make more sense in the future. You are accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. This is, of course, optional advice and guidance and energy check-in. 3 more cards and we'll do it. Let's see. We'll try and get you some helpful, insightful messages. I always like to set that intention. All right, bottom of your deck is strength. All right, I like that. I like that very much. You may have your eye on a Leo, or a Leo may be entering into your life. I like that vibe. It feels very angelic. It feels very heaven sent. So we'll see where this goes. All right. So yeah, some of you who are on the brink of sort of entering into a relationship with a person, I do see formal discussions of exclusivity or you know, whatever you want to call it. There could be, for some of you, there could be proposals if you already have been dating someone, proposals to, you know, move in together, but for also some of you, the marriage contract. It's interesting. It's 2 people who really love their independence and value alone time. So with that, there's almost a really good match in that you're not having to sacrifice in a relationship, you know, things that you enjoy where it feels like, oh, well, I can't do that now because I'm married, right? And I feel like that's sort of a misconception that a lot of people have when they're sort of in that in-between of, am I ready to do this and like, you know, commit for life? Yeah, with there's 2 kind of Virgo energies here. So some of you may have very strong Virgo in your chart. Some of you may be involved with someone with strong Virgo. In tarot specifically, not that Virgo is a sign that's like, you know, super independent loving, right? I don't necessarily ascribe that traditionally to Virgo, but everyone is very complex, right? These 2 cards specifically in tarot that have a very strong independent, maybe like sort of alone, you know, it's the Hermit card, right? So there's a couple messages. Again, the freedom-loving, independence-loving Aries out there, you may meet someone who has equally that desire to, you know, I always say, come together, kick ass. At the end of the day, you're together, you love each other. But there is this freedom of like, hey, I'm going to do this today. And I don't necessarily want to make it like a gender thing, like, hey, I'm going to go off with the boys, or I'm going to go do this thing with the girls. It's not that. It's more just like, you know, you may be very devoted and dedicated to your career right now, or you may be involved in family matters that are requiring a lot of your time, and your person not only like understands and supports that, they accept it, that they don't have to be, you know, stuck to you like glue. Anyway, I really like that message. Others of you, and this is particularly cool because I think some of you are going to like this, if it feels like you've been single forever, there's a nice little break in that where 2 people who are kind of in the same spot of like, I'm single and I'm ready and I know I'm a catch and where's my person? They're right here. It might be a Libra. It might be a Leo. It might be a Virgo. Oh, this is so cute. You may end up dating someone who's involved in fashion or photography or modeling or sketching, designing, painting. I'm hearing things like, you know, clay. I am hearing modeling though. Interesting. So I don't know if that's just like a chapter of their life where that was something they did, or that's something they still currently do, or they work among groups of artists or something like that. It could be advertising, right? It could be something like that. I don't know why that's coming through, but it is important. I almost feel like this is sort of saying in some capacity that this person is your muse. And vice versa. So whoever is the artist in the relationship, and maybe both of you are, there's something about sort of they inspire your creativity and they give you sort of, it's like they fuel your fire. It's like when you want to talk about that project you're working on, rather than just sort of like, you know, zoning out and not listening or rolling their eyes or be like, yeah, geez, I don't know. It's like they offer stuff. They help inspire you. Again, a lot of like Libra, like I want to have that rapport, that back and forth, that conversation with you. And also Leo energy, like I'm going to shine the light on you and share my gifts and my light so that you feel like inspired to like share your gifts and your light. I know that's cheesy, but that really is like the core of like Leo's being. They can be very generous, as can Libra. I love this energy for some of you, there could be a contract, quote unquote, like a marriage contract, or again, just a discussion of moving in together or making it more official. Others of you, it's this idea of with these two cards, it's like being single forever or just feeling like you've never met someone that you really jive with and have that insane chemistry. This feels lovely. Oh my gosh, I love it for you, Aries. So anyway, what else do we got going here? Let's see. So, yeah, there may be discussion of moving in together sooner than later, and both of you were apprehensive to have the conversation, but it's like you were both thinking it, which is really cool. It's like whoever ends up opening the door to that conversation, I'm not exactly sure who it is. It might be your person and they're acting a little bit weird and strange. Not suspicious, just like they're acting like a little bit, kind of like a little bit of nervous energy, especially if you like go out to dinner or something. It's like in their head, it's like, this is so cute. It's almost like that energy of like they're asking you out to prom. It's like they're so nervous and like, you know, their palms are sweating and they've been thinking about it all night and how they're going to phrase it. And like, but it's more something more significant than just asking you out for a lot of you. It's like moving in together or some big step or like meeting their family or something. And they're so nervous to ask you. But then it's funny because I just see this perfect match of, oh my gosh, I was going to ask you the same thing. Oh my gosh, this is so cute, Aries. I love it for you. I love, 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 love it. Some of you may be planning some sort of fun travel adventure with your person, or that was a weird way of phrasing it, a travel adventure. You may be planning some sort of trip or weekend getaway. Yeah, like a road trip. It could even, it may involve like plane tickets or whatever. It might be long distance travel, but it's very short. It's a very like concise trip. Some of you may also be assigned on some sort of business trip at work and you actually invite your person to come. And so that's what I mean. There's definitely like this distinction of like, I do have to work and I do have to do this thing, but like when I get off work, like let's go tour the city and let's go do this. And like there's really equal give and take in balancing things that are important to you, things in your work life, in your family life. And then again, having this like, I don't want to call it a safety net, having this sort of, it just feels like a big hug. It feels like you have a person who has your back and they're there for you. But there isn't this, I don't know why this is important, but I have a feeling it's a past situation that didn't work out. You don't feel like your person is always nagging you or suffocating you or something like this. There's just this person is very content to like hang on their own and do their own thing. That doesn't bother them. You might be involved with a Pisces as well. There's sort of strong Pisces coming into this maybe later in the month. Yeah, so again, trips and travel, I do see with your person, moving in together, something about moving or shifting of the home, meeting this person's family, especially their father. Some of you too, there might be, for you or your person, and I don't predict this would already have happened, somebody in this scenario may not have a father figure any longer, or they may have been a child of divorce and had a very absent father. Their father may have passed from, whatever, an illness or years ago or something. There's a nice little moment of being able to talk about it and share some sort of wound or some sort of area where this person feels a little bit vulnerable or less than. There's like a sharing of it and you guys kind of come together. And I don't know, for those who had a good relationship, it's almost like you commemorate the memory, or how do we want to say it? It's like you go and honor their memory. Maybe you visit their grave site, or this person shares it with you in like some sort of intimate moment, like memories. And like again, there's this nice back and forth of one person like asking questions and being interested, and the other person sharing more of themselves and the storyline. And it gets deep and it gets vulnerable, but it's not to say it's going to be a heavy relationship, but it's like you feel comfortable with this person to talk about those things, and maybe in other relationships you didn't, or vice versa. Yeah, I see something about paying tribute or homage to the father. And for some of you, that could be something as simple as like, hey, you go to the birthday party. It doesn't have to involve something super heavy in death, but there is like an offering or a gift for some of you. There could even be some sort of like ceremony, or it could be that the father is retiring and there's some sort of, I don't know if it's like an award thing or like I don't know, I'm seeing like montages of their life and what they've done and what they've accomplished, or going through photo albums and looking at something regarding a father figure. I suppose it could be a maternal energy too, because I do have the Chariot here too. But anyway, it seems really nice and lovely, but it feels very deep and personal and intimate. And that may come sooner than later. Like this might be a relationship where immediately you start getting into like the nitty gritty stuff about each other, but there's an ease to it. It doesn't feel like, oh, this is uncomfortable, I gotta get out of here, or, I have to make a joke to lighten the mood. It's not that. It's just like there's this, ooh, you're in it with this person. I like it. You do have some water sign energy here. You have Pisces and Cancer. Not to say it couldn't be a Scorpio, right? We're headed into Scorpio season soon, so that's a possibility. Other messages. Let's see. Two of Cups, the Moon, and the Seven of Shields. Let's see. Okay, so then for some of you, this is completely unrelated. New message. You may match up with someone on like a dating app, or, meet this person in any capacity. It could be through a friend. They may work in the medical industry, a nurse, a doctor, a healer, something of that nature. I feel like they have strong Pisces in their chart. There might even be something sort of like mystical about them, or into sort of like esoteric kind of like, occult, witchy, tarot reading, something that's I don't want to say not mainstream, but you know what I mean. They're a little bit mystical, something about that. But then it comes to the Seven of Shields. So it starts off interesting. I don't know if it's like hot and heavy. In fact, there may be like a sexual encounter very soon upon meeting them. Which, no judgment here or there. But then from that sort of like, we met and we slept together and it was great. Then for both of you, it's almost like the next morning there's this awkwardness of, oh, should we have done that? Or like, do I even really like this person? That's very interesting. I don't mean to laugh, but it is kind of an interesting message I'm getting. It's like jumping into bed, or if it's not that, it's just like there's a lot of like, sexual chemistry, maybe you guys dance together. There's like some sort of like physical intimacy, maybe you're just making out, or whatever that is for you. Maybe it doesn't have to be, hypersexualized. For some of you, it absolutely is, though. I'm just saying it. But then like the next day or the next week or a few weeks later, there's like almost like this lack of chemistry. It's almost like it freezes out or it goes cold. It's not that the person isn't texting you back or vice versa. It's like you're still meeting up, but it doesn't have that same chemistry it used to. For a very select few of you, again, there might be this storyline of a person who's mourning the loss of something in their life, possibly losing a job, or feeling like they got in trouble at work, or something like an awkward dynamic with their family, or they're having a fight with their sibling. For some of you, it's that, and they're not bringing the same enthusiasm to the date when they meet up with you. But I have to be honest, for most of you, it's like they're playing the field a little bit, and so, and that might be, cards may be put on the table early on that they're not looking for exclusivity. I still say that doesn't stop you guys from, having some fun, which is fine, that's great. But, and the thing is, it's mutual. Both of you are kind of like, I don't know about this person. Like, there's aspects of them I really like, but when we meet up, it feels like it kind of fizzles a little bit. I do potentially see someone looking elsewhere, or seeking partnership with multiple people and not necessarily wanting to make a decision. I don't see that necessarily changing anytime soon. And to be honest, if you're only dating them out of fear of being alone, and you're like, I'm going to make it work because I haven't had a partnership in a long time, and like we hit it off once, so like the chemistry will come back, that might be being overly optimistic. This may have been like a very short-term little connection, and the universe is just, it kind of revived you, you had some good sex, whatever, and now the universe is kind of like, all right, but let's see what's out there. That sort of seems like the sign behind this. Like, this is one candidate, but there's a lot more people that you're going to jive with even more, and the chemistry will be more electric and more consistent. You guys will show up consistently and be excited and have that enthusiasm when you meet up. So this may be an opportunity for you to choose to be single over staying in a relationship where it's just kind of meh. It's just kind of whatever. And I think the universe is underscoring like, that's okay, because when you show me that you're mature enough to know what you want and what you don't want, and that you're not going to settle, I'm going to bring in more people that you're going to like even more. So it's like showing the universe that you have faith. Not to knock what this is. I think it's nice and enjoyable for a period of time, but I think it naturally kind of tapers off. Again, mutually. I don't think there's one person who's desperately in love with the other one, and you'll know if this is your story or not. Because if you're kind of lukewarm about someone, and that's why you're watching this tarot reading, to be like, yeah, like we hit it off, but then it's just kind of like, you're sensing it, then I think the message here is, choosing to be single and showing the universe that you're not just going to settle opens your world up to receive even more abundance in terms of your dating life. I do think a lot of you have a Leo coming in or a very strong connection with a Leo presently. All right, Aries, that's what I got for you. Please remember to like the video, subscribe to my channel. If you want to book a personal reading, that would be great. We can dig into your energy on a more personal level. Other than that, thanks for joining me and have a fabulous day. Bye, guys.